Alright guys, so in your 2025 4Runner, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the hood, and then we're going to look for these two bolts right here. That's where this is going to attach to, and just take off one at a time, and then we're going to slide this in there, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And we're using a size 10 metric. So this is what it should look like. It's just loosely on there right now. But how we did it was we took both of these screws off, and then be careful because your hood is going to want to slide down a little bit. Just let it slide down back naturally. Make sure you don't damage your car. And then you come in with the two screws and you put this in between, put the screws back on, and let's go ahead and tighten it now. Want to do before you tighten it all the way, just hand tight them right now. We're going to do a hood fitment check because there is some play when you loosen those. The hood does move a little bit, so we're going to close the hood and just make sure everything's lined up, and when you're happy with where it's lined up, then go ahead and tighten them down all the way. Now if you check your seams, you want to have equal seams on both sides, and then from there we can go ahead and lift the hood back up and tighten it down all the way. Now these come with the packaging. We're going to go ahead and install these on the lights. These are the lights that come with the package. We're going to go ahead and install these brackets onto this light. Let's go do that right now. Alright, so the order that you're actually going to do it is going to be your bolt, and your bolt is going to go through your bracket, and then on the bottom of the bracket you're going to put your washer, then you're going to put your lock washer, then you're going to put your nut. Your bolt goes on top of your bracket, and then underneath the bracket, washer, lock washer, and then your nut. Now you're going to take these little guys and you're going to screw it, into this hole right here on the brackets. Give you this little Allen tool to use to tighten those onto here. Alright, so it's gonna kind of look like this right now, and we're gonna tighten everything down later, but you want to be able to tighten it just enough so we can still move it if you need to. This is what the other side looks like. So that's kind of how the screw go in there. Same with the other side. Okay, those little small screws, that, and then we'll do the wiring later. Also, last thing is these brackets here, you can't really tell, but you want to make sure these brackets have the appearance like they're facing forward. So you don't want the bracket to be facing like they're facing backwards like this. So these brackets do have a certain stance, and you want the stance to face forward. See how the bracket looks more like it's facing this way? That's kind of what you want to do for both lights.
Alright, so now let's go ahead into the wiring part of this. Grab one of these guys and we're going to crimp it onto the black and the red wire from the light. This is what it looks like after you crimp those to the wires. Make sure you repeat for the other side. Alright, so for the rest of the wiring, you're going to grab this bundle, and these connections here are going to go to your lights for the left and the right light. These will just clip in to the male side of the connections that we made earlier. Black to black, red to red. Same for the both sides. One here for this light, and then the other side would travel down to the right side of the light. Alright, so now that both sides are connected, we're going to just zip tie this neatly, do some wire management, zip tie it all the way to the back, and we're just going to hide some of these wires and make it look nice and clean. Also, the wire that's coming from the light is going right behind this rubber seal. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a rubber seal here. Just lift that up, pry it up, and slide the wire underneath that rubber seal, and repeat on the other side. This is that rubber seal I was talking about. You could just lift it up with your finger and slide that wire underneath of that. So the next step is we're going to connect and ground this relay component to the inside of the 4Runner. So in the 4Runner, they have this random screw hole here, and we can use that to ground that relay component. It's surprisingly, it's the same size as one of the extra bolts that came with the light kit. So this bolt right here is actually the exact size that screws into this little screw hole here, and we're going to use that to ground that relay component. So we're actually taking a Dremel, and we're going to Dremel this hole out and make it just a little bit wider. That bolt didn't quite fit through this grounding hole in the relay. So just take a Dremel, and we're just going to make that hole a little bit wider, just enough to fit that bolt in there so we can go ahead and ground it to the vehicle. Make sure you're using metric because this is a Japanese car, so make sure you have a metric socket set. So this is what it's going to look like after you grounded it to the vehicle, and all this extra wires, you can just push it back behind the side of the battery. Alright, so the next step is connect the black ring to the black terminal and the red ring to the red positive terminal. Red for positive, black for negative. Connect those rings to the battery. And then we're going to go over to the other side, and we're going to take a look at this temporary switch they give us. This is a temporary switch that we're going to cut off later. We're just going to push the button here just to test it to make sure it turns on. And that turns on just fine, as you can see. Go ahead and turn this off. This is eventually going to get cut off, and we're going to attach the button to it. So here's the button. We disconnected it from the other side, and the other side is going to go back behind the firewall. There's a little rubber seal back here, and we're going to shove that wire up behind that rubber seal. That'll get us to inside of the vehicle underneath the cab. Okay, make sure you cut this off, and you're going to re-strip it, and you're just going to have the wires exposed. Those wires will connect to the switch side. So you could go ahead and remove this side cover so we can access it. Once you remove that, you could go look underneath to where you shoved that wire end from the weather seal. Right there under the cab, you can see our wire sticking out. Go ahead and you can now connect that piece to the other piece that had the button when you cut off the button head. Connect those pieces together, and let's wire up the rest of it. So now that we've removed this side cover, you can put your hand back here and actually push that blank auxiliary cap out. You could also use a flat tip and pry it out while pushing from behind. This will allow us to put the other auxiliary button in to replace this blank one. By the way, for wire management, just use zip ties. It looks very clean, and this is kind of what it looks like after wire management has been done. Okay, so remember when we cut off the other button, we cut off the other button head, we stripped it, so we got black, white, and blue. You want to use butt splices to connect these wires to the switch side. Take a picture of this wire diagram so you don't forget it, but it's black to black, white to yellow, blue to red and blue. Connect these with the butt splice and we can move on. Just connect the green connector from the blue connector and just have the button out by itself, because we're actually gonna push this button in from the front. So go ahead and line it up. Make sure your indicator light is facing upward, just like that. So light on the top, logo on the bottom. Go ahead and click it a few times to make sure it works, and it does. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back and connect that green piece back up into the plug. So go ahead and shove that in, connect it once again, and then I went ahead and used electrical tape just to make it more safe and more tight. Go ahead and shove the excess wire back in there, put the cover back on, and you're good to go. Alright guys, so the lights are installed and the cover is put back on. The button is installed. Let's go ahead and test it to see if it works. It should light up blue, indicating that there is power. Let's go around to the front of the vehicle and see if they are illuminated, which they are. Guys, thank you for watching this video on how to install the Lexland Baja design ditch lights. Go to their website, Lexland, get 25% off. Use code word REDEEM. 25% off all of their things on their website. Go to Lexland right now and order some. Take care and God bless.